Chapter 2. When I opened the basement door, the first thing I noticed was the sound. Not noise sound. Like the air itself was vibrating, a low hum I could feel in my ribs. It wasn't coming from any machine. It was coming from below. I gripped the railing and started down. Each step creaked like it was trying to warn me. The light underneath flickered, soft, then bright, like it was alive. "Dad?" I called. My voice echoed strangely, like the walls were closer than they should have been. The basement smelled different than I remembered. No dust, no cardboard, no dampness. It smelled like static, like old electronics. When I reached the bottom, I froze. The space looked wrong. Our basement used to be cluttered. Paint cans, broken chairs, boxes. Now it was spotless. A small table stood in the center with a cassette recorder glowing faintly on top. And the shelves around me, lined with identical black tapes. Everyone neatly labeled in my father's handwriting. My heart picked up. I called again. "Dad?" No answer. The only sound was that low hum, like electricity under the floor. I walked to the table and pressed play. Static. Then my own voice, calm, familiar. "You found it." I jumped back. "Dad?" The recording continued. "If you're hearing this, it means I'm not with you. Don't be afraid. You needed to remember on your own." I looked around the room for a speaker, a hidden camera, something. Nothing. He kept talking. "Everything we told you about the fire wasn't true. You were never supposed to see what was in this room." I whispered, "The fire?" I didn't even remember a fire. The air felt thicker, like it wanted me to stop listening. But I didn't. I scanned the shelves and spotted one tape labeled "Before." I slid it into the recorder, hit play. At first, laughter. My parents talking, the sound of plates clinking, music in the background. They sounded happy, like a normal day. Then someone knocked on a door. My dad said, "She's here." My mom whispered, "If she remembers, it starts again." The tape cut off. I stared at the recorder. Starts again? What was starting again? Behind me, something clicked, metal against metal. I turned. A shelf had shifted slightly. Maybe from the vibration? Or maybe not. I knelt down, running my fingers along the floor. There were marks, scratches, like the shelf had been moved more than once. And when I pressed my ear close, I heard it. A faint ticking. Not a clock. More like a heartbeat. I stood up fast. The table light flickered. The recorder was off now, but a new tape sat beside it. No label this time. The plastic was warm, like it had just been used. Before I could touch it, I heard footsteps above. My dad's voice. "Lena, what are you doing down there?" I froze. He sounded calm, too calm. I quickly slipped the blank tape into my pocket. "Just looking for something," I called back. He appeared at the top of the stairs, the light behind him turning his face into a shadow. "You shouldn't be down there alone," he said. I squinted. "Why? What's down here?" "Some memories are dangerous," he replied. "What does that mean?" He paused, then smiled faintly, like a teacher testing a student. "It means you're getting close." He turned away, leaving the door open. The hum in the basement faded. I stood there for a long moment, holding my breath, waiting to hear if he was still upstairs. Nothing. When I finally climbed back up, my hands were shaking. The house felt different, like every shadow was watching me. In my room, I sat on the floor and pulled out the blank tape. No label, no markings. Just that faint warmth, like it was alive. I had half a mind to destroy it, throw it away, burn it. But curiosity won. I slid it into my portable player, pressed play, and waited. Static. Then a faint whisper. Not my dad. Not my mom. It was me, but younger. "I remember the door," the voice said. "You promised you wouldn't open it again." I felt my chest tighten. My younger self was talking to someone. Then silence. And suddenly the tape vibrated once in my hand. I dropped it, startled. The hum from the basement started again, this time faintly coming from inside the walls. I looked toward the floorboards, and in the silence between the hums, I heard something else. A second voice whispering from the recorder speaker, "Don't let him find this one." Then the tape stopped. I stared at the recorder, frozen. My hands were trembling, and I could still feel the faint warmth of the plastic. I didn't know what scared me more, what the message meant, or the fact that the whisper hadn't sounded afraid. It sounded like a warning. I glanced toward my door, half expecting my dad to be standing there again. But the hall was empty. Still, the hum didn't stop. It was coming from below, through the floor, vibrating up through my chair, my chest, my teeth. And when I looked down at my player, the recorder's light was on again, even though it wasn't plugged in. Subscribe for part 3.